earth is at rest and is quiet, they break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious.
Because the Lord is going to restore everything. You're going to have a total different vibration on the earth, a total different smell. You're not going to be walking down the street and smell shit and piss, and no foul odors or nothing like that, because the lungs of the earth are going to be given back to it, which is all these trees and all of these flowers, and it's going to be a whole total different vibration. You're going to see the aura and how things are going to change and how elevated things are going to be. Our senses are going to be heightened, Everything about us is going to be glorified.
For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. The child shall die 100 years old. But the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build, and another inhabit. They shall not plant, and another eat. Whereas the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of the Lord, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Lord.
The Lord said that on the Heavenly Father's right hand there are pleasures evermore. And it says that I have not seen, neither ear heard the things that the Lord hath prepared for them that wait for him. There's a whole another world of greatness that awaits us when the kingdom of heaven is established. It's not seen in this society. In this society, we only see carnal things that reason offers in this society. But when the kingdom is established, the Lord is going to open us up to a whole nother world, of pleasure, of knowledge, of wisdom, understanding, can't even be put into words, because our imagination only goes but so far.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. All right. And what I want to get into today, another morning news and prophecy. All right. Inspired through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get this. Let's do this. Okay. Go ahead. Set the tone. All right. As you go to the book of Revelation. All right. Verse 19. in verse 10, and it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see that thou doest not I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shah, the spirit of prophecy, man. Okay? The testimony of Yahweh Shah, the spirit of prophecy. Okay? And that's why he has raised up the prophets, okay, to be the forerunners for Yahweh Shah. Okay? Because as we go into prophecy, all right, we're setting the tone, all right, and preparing the minds for the elect, all right, for the second coming of Yahweh Shah, which is contained within the prophecies, man. Okay? As we warn our people, you know, who to turn to in the times of chaos. Well, where's the chaos found? Well, within prophecy. Okay? Where's judgment, civil unrest, famine, all these things are within prophecy, man. Okay? And we have, you know, hope and the faith that we're going to be good in this time. All right, through who? Yahweh Shah. Okay, so the spirit of Yahweh Shah, all right, is embodied, okay, in prophecy, man. You know, because the righteous kingdom, you know, that we hope in, all right, that we believe in, is all within these prophecies, man. Okay, so the spirit of prophecy, okay, is the spirit of Yahweh Shah. And if you want to know if who you're following, okay, if they're in the right spirit, well, what is their stance on prophecy? Okay, so that's why you got, you know, the Yah Israelites. They don't teach because they don't have the spirit of prophecy, man. They don't have Yahweh Shah, so they can't go into anything. Okay, so what's happening is the will of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, all right, is being made known, okay, in the earth, man. All right, and the gospel is being believed, okay, by, all right, the believers, the followers, man, the elect, the hopeful elect. Okay, so let's go here. The brother got this one. Okay, it's the brother Kazak Bon Yahweh. All right, Jeremiah 28:7, it says, nevertheless, hear thou now this the word that I speak in the ears, all right, in thine ears and in the ears of all the people. Okay. Verse 28 said, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, I have prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence, man. And are we not in that stead right now? Okay. Has not the Lord raised up prophets, all right, to go into these things right now? Okay, into these exact same things. See, the prophets of Israel, okay, always had an office. Okay, and we continue when we're continuing that legacy of the prophets, man, of old. Okay, and that's how the Lord would always mediate, you know, between the people. All right, between Israel and what was to come was what through the prophets. You see, and it hasn't changed. All right, verse 9, it says the prophet. Okay, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, all right, have truly sent him. Okay, so prophecy being fulfilled, okay, is an indicator that this is a prophet of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. Okay, the things that this prophet is saying, okay, are happening. Okay, well, that's an indicator, okay, that they're of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. These are the men whom the Lord has sent. And see, the Lord has had it set up to where our apostles and elders, you know, and their elders before them have been speaking on these things for decades. Okay. So you can't, you know, you can go back, okay, and look at the footage yourself and see, okay, these men been speaking about this. Okay. So now as we seeing these things happening, it's just giving vindication. It just vindicates, okay, the true men. You see, prophecy is going to separate the real from the fake, man. All right. Now, real quick, let's get this, and then we'll segue to the video. Okay. Let's see if I got it. Okay, yeah. So this is Joel 2:28. All right. Let me go ahead and pull this up. So this from the brother Hopeful Lake 3. All right, the brother Yaquab. All right. So Eve, all right, has a dream about war and chaos in Babylon. Okay. So we're gonna get that, listen to that like a 3-minute video. It's Joel 2:28, and says, "It shall come to pass afterward that I will pour my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions." Okay, your young men shall see visions. So what we're seeing is the Lord is just allowing all these different people, even heathens, to have these visions. Okay, a lot of women having these visions. Okay, and they're not given the office to go prophesy, to go teach. Okay, but her telling this dream where she's speaking in the spirit of prophecy because these things are going to happen. And you have the prophets, all right, to be able to what? Expound on these things and give the understanding according to the scriptures. Okay. So this is what, we're constantly seeing. All right, people are having these dreams, and the main dream that people have been having lately is civil unrest. That's the main dream that people have been having, is these dreams of civil unrest. And we're going to see this, okay, in this video. Okay. So I'm going to play this. All right. And then, we'll expound in the spirit. All right. So.
Okay, so I gotta make another video right quick, okay? Okay, so about 12 years ago, me and my son had just moved out of my parents' house. This was our first place. I was working at an area hospital. I got home from a shift because at this time I was working night shift. And I wanted to know. I told my husband I was going to make this video too. So after coming home from work, I fell asleep finally because I would go to the gym and then come home, take a shower, and go to sleep. So I came home, went to bed, and I had a horrifying dream, and it was super vivid. There was a war in my backyard. I could hear the bombs. I could hear people screaming outside. It was chaos outside, utter chaos. And it was American soldiers, and then it was different soldiers with different color army fatigue on. I don't even remember what color it was because it was so long ago. But I woke up startled and scared to death. I was scared to death. I called my brother because he was right up the road from me. And he asked me, I guess he could hear it in my voice. I said, "Oh my God, I just had the worst dream ever." I said, "I just had a dream it was a war, like in my backyard. And I could hear bombs and people screaming," right? Why he tell me he had the same dream? So I'm making this video to see if anyone else is out there had a dream like this. Only because he's had this dream, I've had this dream. And I was just wondering, has anybody else had this dream? So I was talking to my husband about it today. And he was like, "You should make a video, see, if anybody else has had it." And so here it is. If you've had a dream like this that startled you because there were like a war, ongoing war, in America, on American soil, leave a comment. I just want to see something. Thanks.
Yeah, you know, and just to address, a few things in this video, first, she said she's seen American, all right, soldiers, and then she's seen another, all right, fatigue, army fatigue, okay, showing you that it's gonna be a lot of different players in this thing, man. All right, it's gonna be UN troops, it's gonna be foreign mercenaries. Okay, you're gonna have these different militias that's gonna come out of the woodworks. Okay, in the midst of this civil unrest. Okay, and it's gonna be going down. Okay, so she had this dream of chaos. All right, she's hearing bombs dropping. Man, see, it's been America finna sound different. Okay, see, everywhere else in the world they're used to bombs going off and airstrikes and all these. See, that's coming to America, man. Okay, these things are coming to America. So let's uh get this real quick. Um, let's go here to Second Esdras. So let's go to Second Esdras. I think the same chapter. That's 13. All right. So let's get Second Esdras 13 chapter. Okay, because as she said, it was going down in her backyard. All right, showing you that these prophecies is coming to a doorstep near you. You see, as Jake, ignore the warning that's going out. Well, these prophecies are just going to come see you. Okay, you're not just going to hear about the prophecies from the prophets anymore. No, the prophets themselves are going to come and visit you. Okay, that's how the Lord's going to visit this place before the physical return of Yahushua. The Lord's going to be visiting this place. Okay, via the prophecies, man. Okay, and then we're gonna go to another video to show how her dream is playing out, is beginning to play out real time. All right, so you go Second Esdras 13 and 30 says that he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and this is Yahweh Shai. All right, so the type of environment that he's coming back to is what one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. Okay, so it's going to be going down. Okay, it's going to be all out hell, all out chaos. Okay, all out civil war, all out national war, international war. Okay, all the way into the coming of Yahweh Shai coming to wage war. All right, because when Yahweh Shai wage war, he finna sit everything down. Okay, Yahweh Shai coming to wage war to sit everything down, man. Okay, he's coming to end the war. Okay, when Yahweh Shai shows up, that's the end. Okay, he's coming to wreck shop on everything, man. Okay, so let's segue here. All right, then she said her brother had the same dream. She's telling her brother about the dream, and he has the same dream, man, showing you, hey, the Lord, the spirit of Yahweh Shai is getting strong in the earth, man. Okay, we're here. Things about to change. Okay, this could be a very interesting end of 2025. Okay, so now let's go here. All right, holla at Dabu, call herself B7 now. Okay, so let's play this. All right, and see how if she's having this dream, guess what? Well, these things are coming together real time. See, we here now. Things these people having these dreams, but these things are happening real time. It's not far off. These things are coming together. All right, we're seeing the buildup to all prophecy being fulfilled, man. Okay, so let's play this.
What's up, guys? D7, back at you. And it looks like the stage is set. I really do hope you guys got a plan after all this time, all these years, trying to get people ready for chaos. The stage is set. And if you don't know what's going on here, Trump has rolled out a plan here to send National Guard troops all across the country in pockets of like 500 per unit. And these units are going to deploy within 24 hours to wherever they need them, any situation. Now, a lot of people are like, that's unprecedented. We've never seen an order like that before, ever. That's taken our National Guard troops and using them for whatever Trump and them want to do with them. Okay? Now, as I said before, as it's supposed to go with posse comitatus, if your governor, the governor of a state, wants to use those troops for something else first, then he's got dibs. But if they're just sitting around and Trump comes along and he's like, yo, we need your National Guard troops to send them up to Chicago, Portland, or whatever, they're going to take them. And this is what sets the stage for civil war. Because up in Portland, the governor is saying that him and the sheriffs and the National Guard, they're all protecting the protesters. That's opposite of what the National Guard is doing in other places where they're helping ICE. So this puts ICE against the National Guard in some of these situations. Then, on top of all of this, this takes it to a whole nother level here. The Dems are putting out this app that's going to track ICE agents unless somebody stops it. And this isn't going to be good. What do you think is going to come up?
So, Trump is coming up. All right, now they're saying Trump is going to mobilize, these pockets of National Guard just all throughout the nation. Instead of just, one city at a time. Now, all right, it's looking like a national rollout that they're putting in place. Okay, and then, all right, you have, he says, the Democrats, and this is all to stir up emotions. They're letting these stories go out like this. Okay, because they saying Democrats because they want to incite the Republicans, okay, to react, or they'll put out news and say, well, the Republicans doing this to incite the Democrats to react. That's why they have people enchanted by these two different, all right, ideologies that come from the same source, the elites. Okay, and ultimately, this is the elites rolling these National Guards out. All right, the National Guard out. Okay, for the sake, and then look at the timing of it right before, okay, the SNAP benefits supposed to stop, within like this weekend, this weekend. This can be a very, because see, November 1st, things can shift into a whole nother gear. We'll see. November can be hectic if no SNAP come, and December is going to be off the meat rack if they don't allow those benefits to take place, man. And then the timing of it during the holidays, man. So it's looking like a perfect storm, and we'll see, whether they just pump faking and pull back, or whether, hey, they're going through with this, man. Okay, but going back to it, the Democrats supposedly, he said the Democrats are pushing out an app, okay, to be able to track ICE agents. So now you'll be able to track ICE agents. Okay, and what is that going to do? Because if they have this app, well, people, all right, civilians have access to ICE agents. So that this is being allowed. There is no way that they're going to let the Democrats, okay, as they say, just come up with an app. Like it's a bunch of Democrats in the room, okay, and one computer, looking over each other's shoulder at this one computer screen, coming up with an app. Like, yeah, we got these niggas. No, okay, this is all right, controlled. All right, and if they put that app out there, okay, they can start causing ICE agents to be harmed and blame it on, okay, what the Democrats is doing. And another reason to justify, all right, the Insurrection Act. Remember, the Insurrection Act hasn't been implemented yet, which is going to open up a whole nother level, okay, of justified federal force. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of propaganda, psyops, and games and gimmicks and schemes being put out there. Okay, to cause justification for Trump to enact the Insurrection Act. It's probably gonna get to the point, where people beg him to do it because of things that's going to be going on. All right, and things are getting worse by the day. So let's play some more of this.
Can track ICE agents. There's going to be like executions while they're sitting in the car. We've seen in the past stuff like this, but this is going to be bad when they can track them down. This is taking this to a whole nother level, man. Now I want you to imagine that, again, your friends, your family, they're called into this. They're pulled into this. Especially the National Guard people who I'm thinking about here, who are just going to be used like rag dolls, jerked all over the place, sent wherever they want to do their dirty work. And yes, they're going to be putting hands on people. All of this is what was supposed to not happen. Okay? But right before your very eyes, a police state's being rolled out. And people got a ton of excuses. And I guess they'll continue with those excuses until it's too late. I really do hope you have a plan. You're about to see mass clashing in some of these cities. This is going to go beyond Chicago. It's going to go beyond Portland. This is going to hit smaller cities. And it's really going to start to be random. And just wait. As soon as they start these strikes in Central America, on Maduro and whoever else wants it, coming all the way up to our border, the blowback is going to be insane. So you're going to have all this mixed together. Not to mention anything economic they're going to.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing, another point I wanted to make. When I listened to this video, and just speculation, just I say you study this devil, man. You become familiar with this nigga tactics. So the war in Venezuela, okay, which that's more political than anything, okay. But at the end of the day, if they start attacking, doing land attack on Venezuela, don't surprise if they use that as a narrative, okay, to say, okay, don't be surprised if we start seeing so-called Venezuelan, okay, sleeper cells, okay, start to do particular things, start to do T attacks, which would be, okay, now we got this Venezuelan, all right, now we got Venezuelan, okay, sleeper cells that's been activated. It'd be another reason to enact the Insurrection Act, because now the government has to go to war with, all right, these foreign threats in America now. Okay, so don't let that be a surprise narrative. If they go to war with Venezuela, go into a full scale war with Venezuela, okay, and then you just all of a sudden have these Venezuelan sleeper cells start doing T attacks, okay, in different parts, okay, of America, man. Okay, this double, he got a lot going on, man. This double, he has a hell of a task that he's trying to pull off, man. So we're gonna see this devil all over the place, man. You know.
Throw our way. Like I said, keep your eye on Trump and what they're doing with the Mar-a-Lago Accord and this full-blown reset by March or April. And we're in a window here where it looks like things are going to ramp up left and right. But just know that the Dems are pushing this idea to track them off of an app. This isn't going to go down good. I can see it from a mile away where this is going. They're going to stick National Guard all over the place. And again, what happens if they get set up like they did in Chicago here recently? Surrounded by 10 cars, they're calling for backup. And the mayor, whoever says, no, we're not going to send backup, or the police chief, we're not going to send backup. And it's your son, your daughter that's surrounded, potentially killed in a situation because of what's going down.
So you have this scenario as well. So when these ICE agents go out, and let's say they're in a situation where they need backup, okay, and they don't have the manpower there, and local law enforcement can refuse to help. you know, because they can't obstruct, all right, the ICE agents from doing, all right, what they're going to do, because ICE agents have superiority, okay, over local law enforcement. But the local law enforcement don't have to help. And you're having it happen in certain situations. Okay, so there's tension between ICE and local law enforcement now. Certain sheriffs are already saying like, look, we're gonna protect the people. Okay, we're not gonna be working in coordination with ICE. We're gonna protect the people. Okay, so the stage of civil war, all right, is set and it's constantly brewing. Okay, and this whole thing with the EBT, that's just another log on the fire, man. Okay, so we finna see. All right, it's gonna be an interesting week.
I'm not liking the police state rolling out full force in front of us, and I'm not liking the whole setup of a civil war. It's right here in front of us, man. Join me for the live stream where I got more time to talk about this, going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yep. So we got that, and then I want to segue here. Let me get this first. Give this a second. Ezra 15. Okay, so as we, are speaking these things, now we're starting to see these things, happen quicker, man. Okay, things are manifesting quicker. Okay, time is moving faster, and it's a lot of things happening at the same time. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth," saith the Lord. Okay, so we're commanded to tap into prophecy, man. Okay, because this is the headline. Okay, the ministry is prophecy, man. Okay, it calls them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. These things are going to happen. This is not a speculation. Okay, we might speculate how Esau might try to play particular things. Okay, but the prophecies themselves are not a speculation. This is what's going to happen. All right, this is a guarantee. The Lord has put his stamp on it, which is his word, his name. All right, said, "Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." Yeah, so just because you have, all right, mainly our people, okay, that's against, when we speak about prophecy, okay, our people fan the hand, and you even have it to where Jake, is trending more to where Jake just has this major problem with the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, so while Jake is complaining and whining, okay, about the Israelites, prophecy is walking these niggas down. And that's why the Lord said, don't even worry about them niggas that don't believe, okay, or speak against you. Why? Because of verse 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man. They're out of here. They finna be out of here, man. Prophecy is finna be at niggas' front door, back door, the window, your living room. Okay? So this is what we're getting ready to see, man. All right. Our people that have ignored, these prophecies, all right, spoke against the prophets, okay, made themselves an enemy to the truth. Okay. Prophecy is gonna be bad news for them. You see, the gospel is good news to the elect. Everything outside of the elect, all right, this ain't the gospel to them. This is condemnation. Okay. So I want to segue. All right. Yep. Let's segue real quick. Let me get that precept the brother got. So now you got to throw this in the mix. Okay. I was watching this. Let me go back. Okay. Well, let's play this. Let's read this, and then we'll play that. It said Proverbs 27:12 from the brother Kazak Bunny Howder. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Okay. The simple pass on and are punished. And what we're seeing is the simple just passing on, ignoring what's happening in real time. All right. And they're just they're walking straight into punishment, man. Okay, well, the prudent goes into someone that's diligent and being circumspect and, you know, understanding what's going on around them. Because when you're prudent, it means you're actively, okay, engaged into what's going on around you. Okay, so the Lord has a spirit on us to be prudent, to be circumspect in these times. Okay, it says a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished, man. And this is what 2/3 are doing. Okay, they're ignoring all these things that's happening in real time, being still stuck in simplicity. Okay, arguing about, you know, where they won't go on a date. Okay, some celebrity beef. You know, I think what there was Cash Money did a versus No Limit. See, that's the peak to a nigga. Okay, interest, man. Okay. Meanwhile, these things are formulating right before our eyes, man. They're manifesting themselves, man. Okay, my brother can post that saying Ezra 9, how the end is manifest. Okay, but let's play this because you gotta throw this into the mix, man. It's gonna be a lot of job loss coming soon. Okay, AI is gonna replace a lot of the jobs. Okay, so you gotta throw this into the mix now. Okay, the job market is constantly shrinking, man. Okay, so you got Amazon to replace 600,000 workers, man. That's crazy work. 600,000. Okay, that's more than most cities, man. Okay, so let's play this.
We are where we are today. I remember it like it was just. For this next story, we're going to take a glimpse back in time so that you can understand why we are where we are today. I remember it like it was just yesterday. Just like it was yesterday. In the Democrat primary in 2020, Andrew Yang was one of the contestants, one of the candidates that was running for president at that point in time. And he had this phrase called math. And he delivered a stern warning to people about what was to come. This is a little over 6 years ago, but I'll tell you, this explains why we are where we're at now with the news that was just dropped today.
Yang, your signature policy is to give every adult in the United States $1,000 a month, no questions asked.
That's right.
I think that's like $3.2 trillion a year. How would you do that?
Sorry?
And it's talking about a UBI. All right. Why is Edomite looking at him like that? But yeah, he's talking about UBI. Okay, well, we talked about that the other day. You know how, you know, Esau. All right, he's getting ready to roll that out. You know, as a package to solve. Okay, the turmoil of AI job replacement. Okay, and also government assistance. Okay, but this is over 6 years ago, and he's speaking about UBI. These things have been in the works, man. This is not nothing. All right, Esau just making up on the fly. No, these things have been in the work. They're just manifesting now. Okay, we're just seeing them being implemented now. Okay.
How would you do that?
Oh, so it's difficult to do if you have companies like Amazon, trillion-dollar tech companies paying literally zero in taxes while they're closing 30% of our stores. Now, we need to put the American people in position to benefit from all these innovations in other parts of the economy. And if we had a value-added tax at even half the European level, it would generate over $800 billion in new revenue, which combined with the money in our hands, it would be the trickle-up economy from our people, families, and communities up. We would spend the money and it would circulate through our regional economies and neighborhoods, creating millions of jobs, making our families stronger and healthier. We'd save money on things like incarceration, homelessness services, emergency room health care, and just the value gains from having a stronger, healthier, mentally healthier population would increase GDP by $700 billion. This is the move that we have to make, particularly as technology is now automating away millions of American jobs. It's why Donald Trump is our president today, that we automated away 4 million manufacturing jobs in Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. And we're about to do the same thing to millions of retail jobs, call center jobs, fast food jobs, truck driving jobs, and on through the economy.
Mr. Yang, if I
This was a
No, this is a he was a former tech executive, man. Okay? He's a former tech executive. He's going into, all these numbers. And he said all that to say this, look, we finna automate the workforce. We finna bring heavy automation, all right, to the workforce. Okay? This is what we're about to do. So we gonna put some things, because then he says $1,000 is $3.2 trillion a year. If he paid $1,000 to every American, that would be $3.2 trillion a year. But guess what? They want to knock down the population. So this $300 something million Americans, they don't plan on that many Americans being here. Okay, the UBI is not for billions of people. Okay, the UBI that they have in mind is going to be for millions of people globally. Okay, so let's fast forward to this part, all right, because he comes on again in another time. All right.
They're smart. They see what's happening around them. Their Main Street stores are closing. They see a self-serve kiosk in every McDonald's, every grocery store, every CVS. Driving a truck is the most common job in 29 states, including this one. 3.5 million truck drivers in this country. And my friends in California are piloting self-driving trucks. What is that going to mean for the 3.5 million truckers or the 7 million Americans who work in truck stops, motels, and diners that rely upon the truckers getting out and having a meal? Saying this is a rules problem is ignoring the reality that Americans see around us every single day.
And see, when you automate, certain industries, that has an effect. You just made the point how that has an effect on other industries, because if they start automating trucks, okay, well, that means the gas stations, okay, they rely on these truckers, okay, the revenue from the truckers, all right, these truck stops, okay, these restaurants, these hotels, that's going to suffer too. See, it's not just when you automate an industry, it has a ripple effect, because all this economy is based on these different industries interacting with each other. Certain industries exist because this industry exists. Okay, so when they automate certain industries, then other industries automatically fall. Okay, so this AI automation is going to have a major impact. Okay, this AI automation of these jobs are going to have a major ripple effect, okay, on the job market, man. Okay, let's play some more.
Yeah. Andrew Yang called it. And, I don't think ready to hear it at that point in time, but he was correct. I did not think that this would happen as soon as it is happening. And now we see that Amazon, probably one of the first large companies that I've seen so far to make this announcement. A lot of people are about to lose jobs. If you work at Amazon, if you know someone that works at Amazon, you need to pay attention to what Amazon is doing now.
This morning, concerns that Amazon, the second largest private employer in the country, is planning one of the biggest workplace transformations in modern history.
In a fulfillment center, the Cardinal robot will pack packages into carts.
The New York Times, citing leaked documents, reports Amazon expects sales to double by 2033, growth that would normally require 600,000 more workers. But the company is reportedly looking to fill those jobs with robots and automate 75% of its operations.
We could do this with our robot. We could do this with our technology. That's what we're going to do.
In the near future, Amazon reportedly estimates automation could help it save more than $12 billion and shave about 30 cents off each item it ships. In a statement, Amazon said the leaked documents reflect the perspective of just one team and don't represent our overall hiring strategy, adding that the company is actively hiring and plans to fill 250,000 positions for the holiday season.
One of the things that
I am very concerned. Amazon, there are a lot of Amazon warehouses throughout the United States. In some towns, an Amazon warehouse is the only employer. Retail stores, for the most part, are starting to disappear. Malls have been closing because a lot of things are being sold through Amazon, right? So we're seeing people lose retail jobs. That's been happening for years. But now it seems as though those Amazon jobs are not going to be guaranteed. For those Amazon workers that do work in the warehouses, this is true when you think about it. A lot of what they do can be automated. And this was my fear. When Chris Smalls organized and unionized the first Amazon warehouse, I was like, hell yeah, here we go. One of the things that I said that needs to be done as a next step, and this is not on Chris, but this is just in general, is worker cooperatives. Unions, I support them, but I always tell you that should never be the final step. That's not the end game. And here's the reason why. Just because you form a union doesn't mean that these jobs still can't be automated. This is why we need more push for worker cooperatives, so that you own, as a worker, you own a piece of the company. So,
All right, and that's not going to work. Okay, and that's the thing, with these people that, go into the news. All right, when they start trying to go into a solution, okay, they have no idea. They're basing a solution, okay, based off not understanding what's all about to happen, okay, and not understanding you're dealing with the wicked elite, okay. Ain't no way out, okay. And see, they're still trying to revive America. They want to heal Babylon. All right, so workers cooperative or whatever she's saying, owning a piece of the company. Look, man, it's over with. Okay, that's not the beginning of a solution. Okay, so let's play this.
that you can't be replaced with the robots. And this is the reality that we are facing, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are headed. We're looking at 600,000 people may lose their jobs because Amazon doesn't want to pay people what they should be paid, and they don't want to give people real benefits either. So now they're going to replace them with robots.
What we've been proud of over our 10-year history is the ability to develop robots that work well alongside people.
It comes amid growing fears of technology replacing human workers. The so-called godfather of artificial intelligence has been sounding the alarm.
If I worked in a call center, I'd be terrified. If I was someone like a legal assistant, a paralegal, they're not going to be needed for very long. For mundane intellectual labor, AI is just going to replace everybody.
Well, Amazon has said it's busy training human workers for high-paying jobs that will include working with robotics.
This morning,
Nah, man, this is bad. This is really bad. And it's not just Amazon. I'm going to show you another one here as well. But as we get into the details here, New York Times also covered this. Amazon plans to replace more than 500,000 jobs with robots. Internal documents show the company has changed how people shop, has a far-reaching plan to automate 75% of its operations over the
To automate 75% of its operations, man. Esau finna cut this workforce down, man. Which increases his profit. Okay. So now I'm gonna play this a little bit now because she's going to the banking, all right, side of it. Okay. What's happening with with banks now. All right. So let's play this.
10,000 staff for drafting summer 2033. That would translate to more than 600,000 people Amazon will no longer need.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us at our...
And listen, I'm not afraid to say I was wrong. Andrew Yang was right about this. I didn't think this would happen as soon as it is. And it's not just Amazon. Check this out. Goldman Sachs is rolling out an internal AI assistant to 10,000 staff for drafting, summarizing, code translation, with plans to scale across the firm. Leaders say the end goal is an agentic coworker that behaves like a GS employee rather than a simple chat bot. The first wave focuses on email summarization, proofreading, and translating code between languages to speed repetitive work. The AI agentic can plan a sequence, call tools, and take steps to finish a task on a user's behalf, not just an answer prompt. Goldman Chief Information Officer Marco Agenti says the system should learn to check its own work and absorb the firm's style over time. Look at this here. Analysts expect automation to reshape staffing, with Bloomberg Intelligence projecting up to 200,000 bank jobs at risk as routine tasks get absorbed by AI. So for the bankers, Goldman Sachs starts process of replacing bankers with AI. Now we're seeing it's getting to this point. Listen, people are really safe. And I'm going to say something else here.
Yeah, man. So, if your hope, is in this society, all right, as millions of people, took on to this, this rallying cry of make America great again. Okay. And since this man has touched down January 20, all right, he's torn this place apart. Okay. He's torn this place apart, man. Food constantly going up. All right. Job market is decreasing. Civil unrest is on the rise. Okay. Troops, all right, in your city. ICE agents running rampant. Okay. Since this man has touched the ground, which, he's a do-boy for the elites. Okay. They have tasked this man with dismantling this place. Okay. He's the front man for the dismantle. He's more of a distraction. Okay. While, they dismantle this place, man. And this is what we're seeing. All right. So this is Zechariah 8 and 10. It said, for before these days, there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast. Neither was there any peace to him that went out and came in because of affliction. So you add, unemployment that's finna go through the roof. Okay. Government assistance, could possibly be stopped. Okay. Plus, the troops, all right, are already engaging, okay, with civilians. Okay. You already have, local law enforcement and federal law enforcement at odds. Okay. You have all this, you put all this in the mix. There could be food riots before the year out. Okay. And you put all this in the mix, man. And it's going to be a hell of a time. And the scriptures tell us that it's going to be a time like never before. For I set all men, every one against his neighbor. Okay, it's the Lord that's setting this together, man. And this is a judgment to the proud to have you people destroy each other, man. All right, you narcissistic, okay, self-absorbed, proud Americans. The Lord God set up to where you're just gonna rip each other head off, man. All right, you're gonna devour one another. Okay, you go here. This is the book of Ecclesiastes. Okay, 12. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, all right, these economists, okay, because this economy, all right, is finna tank. You see, it's on the decline now, and it's speeding up, but eventually, all right, it's going to completely tank, man. Okay, it says, and the strong men shall bow themselves. So those that even had disposable income, middle class, upper middle class, okay, and even some of the rich, not the super rich, okay, the underlings of the elites, okay, but these thousandaires and these people with a couple million, guess what? They finna be humbled. Okay. It says in the grinders cease. Okay. The job market, man. Because the economy is driven by what, man? These jobs. Okay. It says in the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the window be darkened, man. To look out into the future, to look beyond it, it's being darkened. Okay. Because and then here it is, the devil is such a scamster. People are going into still going to get these degrees for jobs that he's going to replace with AI. So people are still going to get in debt to get a degree, okay, just to have a job that this man is going to replace with AI. You see? I know. So you people, there's no future, all right, in America, man. This place is done. All right. This place is absolutely done. Okay. And it's just gonna get darker and darker. All right. And people pretty much it's day to day now. All this making plans, and, I'm gonna do this, and you see, we gonna got this going on. You got, we're gonna try to grow my business, and see, things are getting darker, man. This thing is getting very unstable, and it's gonna constantly get more and more destabilized, okay, for the sake of prophecy, man. You see? So let's go here. And we'll end it here. I think the brother got, yep. Because this the point, all right? It says, this brother Kazak Bun Yahawada, 2nd Ezra 9:5, for like as all that is made in the world had the beginning and the end, and the end is manifest, man. The end is constantly manifesting itself, man. Okay? Because the prophecies that we look, all right, forward to are civil unrest, which is Jacob's trouble, the MOTB, and this Third World War. So we're seeing, okay, all these things manifest themselves, okay, in the earth, man. All right. So, Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. We give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.